I'm very, very honored to also this morning to have with us Dr. John Dow Jr., who we all know was the formerly president and managing director for the Africa region, now serves as the chief of regional and program operation, who has been very, very kind enough to join us live and share words of wisdom and to guide us on conducting Special Olympics business. Let me just say quickly before Dr. Dow comes in that Dr. Dow is located in the west coast of the USA, and at the current time there, in terms of the time zone, it's very, very early hours of the morning, but he stayed on. He says, for Africa, I'll do anything. So it's always a blessing to hear from Dr. Dow, and he always brings a very, very rich perspective of our core business in Special Olympics. There's so much that I personally learned from Dr. Dow over the years, but let me share two important basic lessons that I learned from Dr. Dow, which we have continued as a region to pursue because these lessons continue to make an impact. Number one, Dr. Dow said, when planning something, and if what you are planning does not positively impact Special Olympics athletes, take it off the priority list and put it at the back of the queue. Tim stole this from my mouth because Dr. Dow says it all the time. When reporting without a photo, it did not happen. Before the digital era, Dr. Dow helped programs achieve basic digital reporting, as he had, at the time he secured this and distributed cameras and laptops to all African programs to help them capture photos of activities and for administrative purposes. He equipped programs so that they tell the story in words and most importantly in photos. So Dr. Dow, welcome, and please proceed and speak to us.
Thank you, Charles. I told you before, you should not have me speaking if I have to follow Tim and Mary. What else is there for me to say? For God's sake, you continue to punish me by putting me after them. One of these days, I hope that you put me first so that they understand how it feels to have everybody in front steal all of your words. But fortunately, I could never be absent of comments for the Africa region, the great work and leadership that the programs and the region staffs are doing is just phenomenal. I'm particularly impressed with respect to the commitment of the program leaders during this awful pandemic that punched us in the nose, punched organizations around the world in the mouth. Some of them went down and didn't get up. But our founder was resilient, and her legacy was to fight for our constituency. And I'm so pleased that the Africa region, every program leader that has the privilege of working for families and athletes have done an outstanding job in making sure that we do all that we can to support our athletes and during these difficult times. I don't want to rehash a lot of things that Tim and Mary said, but I do want to highlight the fact that it is very, very difficult for some families who have suffered so much over these past 3 years. It is very difficult for them to see light at the end of the tunnel and we can be a glimmer of hope for those athletes and for those families. And so I urge you all to continue to be strong and continue to stand tall. And as we emerge from this pandemic, we need to be thinking recovery. We need to find our athletes that we lost. We need to find our coaches. We need to find new coaches, new athletes. We need to train them. We need to get on the playing fields as fast as we can, because there's so many of our athletes are suffering. The isolation, the abuse that's taking place. Our work was a glimmer of hope and optimism, and certainly we need to do everything that we possibly can to rekindle our work in every program. Thus, the board, the SOI board, established a program emergency relief fund. And that was after reviewing the census that we had lost roughly 45% of our athletes and coaches. Our competitions were significantly reduced. But you all, with your creativity and commitment, and not just in Africa, but around the world, but especially in Africa. But you all didn't fold up your tents and go home. You worked hard and you developed creative ways to keep athletes and programs connected in this movement. But the board has established an emergency fund that's dedicated totally and completely to programs. And the way the fund will work is programs will not be able to apply directly to the fund. The programs in the regions must work as partners, and they submit joint proposals of what the program is going to do, how the region is going to assist, and those proposals would be submitted. We're not going to spend a lot of time with a lot of bureaucratic hullabaloo. We're going to look at the goals and objectives. We're going to look at the quality. We're going to look at the impact that the proposals are looking to have on athlete and coaches returning, recovery of the efforts, so that over the next 3 years, we can get back to pre-pandemic status with respect to athletes, coaches, competitions, etc. The fund is something that every program around the world should be very proud of our board, in that it did not turn its back on our programs to say, well, you guys have to look out for yourselves. We are a family, and I think the board is really committed to making sure that we help programs who are severely damaged to get back on their feet. But we expect you as leaders to be very, very aggressive, far more aggressive than you have been in the past in working with your governments, your ministers. They have a responsibility to support our clients. We have to be very, very persistent in this inclusion revolution, and I believe that we will probably have far more of our government officials receptive and aware of our business. But you as leaders, you have to lead that with your athlete leadership. Take advantage of the expertise of your athletes. We've trained them. They have worked with us. Let's put them to work. They can do great things, and they can demonstrate to communities around the world, how important it is for them to be part of communities and to be involved and to be included. I think that one of the things that Mary, I think, mentioned with local program development, as you start your recovery, it is very, very important and critical. Program leaders in your national programs, it is very, very important that we dust off the local program development books and kits and make sure that our programs know how to start local programs. We're gonna be making some videos of best practices, and we're going to share those with programs. But it's very important as we emerge from this pandemic that we get out and make sure that our local program development is taking place, because that's where the action is. That's where, you know, coaches recruit athletes, and athletes come out because the coaches are there, and hopefully we will be able to build back what we had. You know, I always say that, you know, God didn't shower success only on those who are wealthy or smart. The good Lord showered success on people who had the greatest will not to fail. And I think you all, as program leaders and staff, have demonstrated that quality that are the legacy of our founder, the will not to quit, the will to fight and support. We've had almost 3 years of virtual and isolated activities around the world. We have to be smart. We will continue to have virtual activities, and in some instances, we've learned to train better. But I believe there will never be a substitute for face-to-face meetings, and I can't wait till we can have our next face-to-face leadership meeting, because the participants learn so much from each other outside of the formal discussions and what have you. And I think that we need to, Charles, and program leaders, we need to rededicate ourselves to good governance. I know many of you, as we emerge from this pandemic, you may have lost board members, some of your leaders. We have to really get out there and recruit new board members, new leaders, just as we recruit new coaches and volunteers, because the involvement of our programs, I think the quality of support is directly related to the outstanding leadership that you all have provided. I can remember when people didn't want to do business in Africa because people didn't know where their funding was going. There was no accountability for the most part. And I think we've gone from that extreme to now, anytime someone wants to start a program or wants to expand a program, they are always looking to see how they can get into Africa because of the leadership, because of the quality of leadership in our programs, because of the passion that you all have demonstrated over the years. And certainly I'm so proud of that, because many of you I've seen grow into just outstanding leadership. Now we have some 20 new programs, or 14, I'm not quite sure how many new accredited programs. But I would say this, Charles, let's make sure we pair some of our outstanding programs, program leaders with some of the new programs. There's no reason why so Tanzania and Nigeria and Senegal, and South Africa, Kenya, and on and on. Let's make sure that they're providing support and mentoring to these new program leaders. And I'm sure a lot of that will happen in this conference where you will have opportunities to chat. But once again, you just can't beat that face to face. And I can't wait to have an opportunity for the new programs to really have an opportunity to meet face to face in a conference. But until that time, I would urge Charles and some of the established programs to reach out to these new programs that have come on and mentor them and assist them in every way that you can. I think that one of the great things that you've done in Africa is that you have made sure that athlete leadership and athlete input is not just a statement on paper. You've put it into action. And that has significantly improved and impacted our program development in a positive way. You have a great team at the region level, but at the program level, you have an outstanding group of leaders. There's been a lot of turnover, but Charles, the training is very, very important. Make sure that you're doing everything that you possibly can to articulate the importance of good governance and training. That's how we improve the quality of our product, making sure that we have the best possible training for our coaches, for our board, local, and for our athletes. And in closing, I want to say that, Charles, I want to lay down the gauntlet and challenge you right now. In 2023, let's have a face-to-face conference in Cape Town, and let's have a big unified football event to emerge from this pandemic. And I will come down. I will fly down to make my last hurrah on the pitch to see all of my friends and all of our leaders who have done such an outstanding job on behalf of our athletes and families. So I once again, I hope that if I have the opportunity and the honor to speak, that you would put me first and not put me last, because Tim and Mary, they take all of the oxygen out of the room, and there's not very much to say. But I'm very proud of the work that you guys have done. You guys are an outstanding region, second to none. You're not stepchildren in this region, in this movement now. You're full-fledged partners, and we're so proud of the great work that you've done. And we're looking forward to even greater things in the future because of the work and the leadership and the commitment and the passion from you. So let's get thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dow, for those words of wisdom. There is a saying that, the measure of success is a legacy. And what you see today, these people on the African leadership, programs and the good work that they're doing is resulting from, the established footprint that you made in Africa. And thank you to that challenge, Dr. Dow, you've just, made for getting you to Africa, to Cape Town one more time is something that we are going to work on. And I'm glad that Mary is listening when I start knocking on those doors. for
Right. Good.
this
Good.
face-to-face leadership conference.
Great.
And thank you so much, Dr. Dawe. Very, very appreciative. And I just want to say training is indeed very important to us. We continue to do that. And thank you for that point in terms of pairing programs with new programs. We're working with the Athlete Input Africa Leadership Council as well to look at such initiatives, and we will implement this, and we'll be talking to more experienced programs to deliver this. Thank you.
Charles,
We do
if you don't,
appreciate
Charles,
Dr. Dawe.
Charles, if you don't mind, I'd like to sit in on your conference periodically throughout the conference. I won't meddle, but I just like to listen in on a couple of things. You have a really great, interesting agenda, and I really wish you all a really great time. And hang in there and work together. These tough times will not last if we work together. So thank you all again very much.